Yeah, thanks for doing it as well, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, happy to. Happy to.
Cool. So
It's
how did they
good that you're doing it. Yeah.
how did KillerStar sort of first come together?
Well, basically, the core of the band's me and a long-term friend and musical partner, James Sedge. He's a drummer in the band, and we've known each other a long time, worked on various pieces of music together, but never had a band together. And basically, I started writing songs, asked him to play drums on them, and one thing led to another, basically. So we started off really just with the idea of a couple of songs, and then it turned into an album. We made full demos from them, and then I started to ask people to contribute music to it, like play piano and different instruments on top of it. So that led to the band coming together. Since then, we've done quite a few gigs and live albums and so on, and working on a second studio album right now.
Oh,
So
that's good.
it came together very organically. Yeah.
That's good. Do you have like different? Because I was looking at your obviously your gigs, and you say, do you have different members all the time, or is it just you sort of have?
Well, yeah, basically the core is me and James. I'm the songwriter, and it's his and I's band. But on the first album, basically, we asked a couple of people through a mutual friend to get involved. They're actually all ex-Bowie band, David Bowie band. People
Yeah,
like Mike Garson's quite a famous piano player. So they heard the demos that we had and said, "Oh, sounds great. You know, happy to contribute." Um, and they came together on the album. And then since then, not all of them, but a core of them have followed through with the gigs and the second album, the live album, and so on. So yeah, they've become kind of part of the band, basically. Yeah,
that's cool. 'Cause I've seen your band names that inspired from a Bowie song as well.
it kind of is. Yeah, I mean, if I'm really honest, it was a lyric in one of the songs on the first album. Um, and after the fact, we realized actually it was from the Bowie song, but it kind of works because there's there's a Bowie connection with some of the collaborators on the some of the musicians on the
Yeah,
album.
how many of you have played with Bowie? Is it quite a few of you, or?
I haven't, James hasn't, but basically on the album, it's like six or seven of them. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So there's Mike Garson, who's a piano player. He was with Bowie since the 70s. He played on Aladdin Sane and all the big albums. Earl Slick played guitar. He's on all the big Bowie songs, and Mark Platty who played bass. Yeah, so quite a few of them, and then some players from later in the career, like the last album, Black Star, that Bowie did, Donny McCaslin and Tim Lefebvre. So they were involved in a few songs as well. So yeah, the whole thing came together in a, like I said, like a really organic way with no design to do that. So it was kind of weird how it worked out.
Yeah, it's
Basically
quite
started
quite
with me.
weird the way it comes together, isn't it? With that, with so many
Yeah,
like.
it basically started with me because I know that a singer who used to sing with Bowie, a backing singer called M. Griner in Canada, and I asked asked her to sing backing vocals on the songs that we'd written. And then one thing led to another. She said, "Oh, maybe you want to ask Mike to play some piano on this and introduce me to him." And then it all mushroomed from there. So yeah, it's been an absolute joy to work on this project,
Yeah, it must be
and work
great
with
to
these
work with
guys.
sort of experienced musicians like that as well, who've done so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. It's great. Yeah, we've got a real good vibe in the band now. Yeah, of course, they've all played with each other a lot. Um, not all permutations of the players, but a lot of them. But they're not played on new kind of original music together since the as a group since the Bowie days. So it's kind of cool to have them back together on new stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
quality. I like that. Do you find that you
uh,
get like a bit of Bowie sound in there as well now because of obviously with all the experience in there?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely flavors of it. I mean, the it was never set out to be a Bowie project at all. And the songs are just the songs. There's no. I've got a lot of inspirations, but obviously with the fact that there's, I guess some of my songwriting, some of the chord changes and things, maybe a little bit Bowie-ish here and there. But I think because there's these players involved, they bring little flavors and elements of things from there working with David Bowie. And
Yeah.
on the first album, there's a couple of hints that they put in here and there, like on one of the songs, it's a little piano homage to a Bowie song just snuck in. But it's not a Bowie project. Live we don't play Bowie songs. We're not doing cover songs. It's all original
Yeah, all
music.
original.
But yeah, yeah.
I was
But
listening to the first album today. I really liked Should Have Known Better.
oh, cool. Thanks.
It's a
Yeah,
really good song.
great.
I like that. To be fair, I like the whole album. So I always play whenever I do these chats. I always play the music at work all day. So like
Oh,
the
nice.
people I
Yeah,
work with get really annoyed because obviously it's music they've never heard. But I'm like, I just like to listen to the music all day, like just so I've got it in my head. But I really
that's
like that first
fantastic.
album's brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we're really blown away with the feedback on it, and we got some great press reviews and Mojo and the Times
Yeah, I've seen
newspaper
that.
and
Got
all that.
4 stars in Mojo.
Yeah, yeah, super happy with that. People seem to like it, and so yeah, we got people who are coming to buying the albums who are start off enjoying Bowie and that, and then a lot of people who actually you know come in at it just with other bands that they like and inspired by. So it's a good mix of fans. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you face any challenges when you were starting your band when you started out? Did you find it tough or?
I mean, not really. I mean, the thing is that even um, well, I think with a new project, you never really know if people are going to like the music. And I mean, the motivation for writing the songs, probably for a lot of people, including me, is actually not about necessarily whether people like it, but just you got an idea, you want to get it written and then record it, and then obviously you're hoping people are going to enjoy it. Um, but with it being brand new, you just don't know whether people are going to like it or not. So that's why we're blown away with the reaction. I mean, technically, people were recording in different places because we got people who live in the US, Canada, UK. Um, so on that first album, they were doing a lot of sending of files, music. We were doing a lot of collaboration remotely. Um, but we got a really good mixing engineer who mixed the album, Dave Aringer, who works with like Manic Street Preachers and The Who and stuff like that. And he's just a master at mixing, so he did a great job of putting everything together. And he really helped all the parts kind of come together and sonically sound great. So not too difficult. It would have been difficult if people hadn't enjoyed it and we would put the album out and nobody would have bought it and that. But they did. So great stuff.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Is that how you approach your collab when you're collaborating with each other? Then you got to sort of do it from different because hopefully you're
Yeah,
not in the same place. So that's quite interesting. I've never really heard of that with a band
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Some people do that. I mean, but yeah, it's of course years ago it wouldn't have been possible to do that, with all
Yeah.
sorts of technical issues. But now is the way it works is I basically write the songs and I produce pretty full demos and record those. James adds the drums in his studio. He lives in the UK. And then we've got a full demo with everything, keyboards and piano, bass and all that. And then basically I ship the songs out to the guys who add they would like replace the bass that I've put down. Mark, who plays, bass on the album, he would put his bass on and so on. Um, and then it's just a question of sending files back and forth. But I think that the great thing is that because we've worked together now on stuff, they can immediately kind of know what we're going for sound wise, because a lot of them worked together previously as well in the Bowie years, that they kind of telepathically kind of know what the others are gonna how the others are gonna fit together around what they've done. So it all kind of comes together really really nicely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great for
So
that experience, I suppose, ain't it? With like, they've done all them years like touring and things. It'd be great.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's brilliant. I was reading about your gigs as well, been selling out at the 100 Club.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a few years of that now. Well, a few years, two years of that. We're doing another set in March next year. But yeah, they sold out, which was brilliant. And then we did gigs in New York as well on the back of the album.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, that was great. And we'd like to do more gigs, but it's logistically quite complicated to get everyone together. And we gotta make it worthwhile to do that. So we're doing 2 nights at the 100 Club in March, and we may have a couple of other little surprises around then as well. But yeah, yeah. So they've been selling out, which is great. Hopefully they will do for the next lot.
Yeah, I'll definitely come see you because I love
Oh
the
yeah,
sound. That's
cool.
brilliant.
Oh great, yeah, that'd be brilliant. Nice to see you down there, meet you in person.
How do you feel about like today's music scene? Because it's got to be hard for, because it's hard for musicians to make money now, really, I think, with the way it is.
Yeah, I mean it can be. I mean, I think we're lucky with our with the people that seem to like our music. There's a lot of people that like to buy the music, like to buy the vinyl and the CDs and stuff, and the merch and everything. So that's good for us. I mean, because obviously there's some money in that, which helps. But I think for some bands, obviously, it's really about streaming, and maybe their fan base are more used to like the streaming the music. And I mean, that's got two sides to that coin. One side is great because it means you got obviously with streaming, there's a lot more exposure to get your music out, now
Yeah.
and potentially pick up fans in Brazil and Australia, whatever. Um, so that's brilliant. But on the flip side, of course, the economics are just really poor unless you have millions and millions and millions of streams. So I think for a lot of like well, we're talking about like young indie bands and stuff like that. I mean, really, unless they really take off, it's all about trying to make it work through merch sales and gigs. So, but I think the music scene's actually really healthy. I mean, I know people can, oh, we're not so sure, and I think, but if you're into the indie band, there's a big, there's a big scene. You just got to go look for it
Yeah.
and take the time to find some of the upcoming bands. And I mean, I think there's some great music out there.
Well, that's the good thing about this is because I'm listening to so much more new music now, and it's like
Yeah,
because I've got to find bands that I like to chat to and stuff. So it's like it's opened me up to. I love all music anyway. Like I'm a massive music guy, and I love
yeah,
like I've sort of been brought up on Bob Dylan and the Soul Doctors, and but then my mum was
yeah.
like Cyndi Lauper, and she loved all the cheesy
Right.
sort of 80s stuff. So it's good to have like that
Uh,
sort of mix with everything.
I think so. I'm the same. I love mixing it up, and I think it makes for potentially interesting music because you're kind of bringing together, inspiration from old stuff and newer bands and different genres and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm with
massively.
you on that.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
you think as well? Do you think there's pressure on like musicians now to be like really tuned into social media and that now as well? So obviously you've got like content
yeah,
creating and stuff's like quite a big thing. And
it's
like,
exhausting.
yeah, you've got to be on top of it all the time, ain't you?
You do. I think. Yeah. I mean, I think again, it's like it's good and bad. I mean, it's exhausting to keep the content coming and stuff. But on the other hand, it's amazing because it means you can build a fan base and build a community of fans. You can interact with them directly, like and you're pinging me directly and all that. I mean, so I think that side of it's really, really great. And but yeah, I mean, you do have to have an eye on like content, and I think just putting out a record and then leaving it at that and hoping people are going to find it or follow up on it is difficult. You got to have a social presence. We got somebody helping us a little bit on that as well to keep things
Yeah, that's
going.
what I'd
And
love. I'd love somebody. I hate the editing side of it. I'd love somebody to do that
yeah,
for me. Who have been like your biggest inspirations for your band?
I think for me when and I guess because I'm writing the songs probably I mean it's really is a mix and you can probably see a load of vinyl behind me here, but I mean it's a
Yeah,
mix of everything from hard rock, Led Zeppelin, progressive stuff, Pink Floyd, um, Bowie, and then like we just talked about, a lot of newer bands as well, a lot of indie bands that I really like, that have come up from nowhere in the last few years. So it's quite a mixture. And James, the drummer and partner in the band, he's the same. We're both massive music fans, and we go to a lot of gigs and he's we just love a lot of different kind of stuff, and some blues and soul for sure, funk,
yeah.
a little bit of jazz here and there,
It's
so
good to have all
it's
them
quite a
different sort of
mix.
sounds in there, I suppose, ain't it? So you can keep things fresh and different.
Yeah, I think like, I think with songwriting it just kind of comes to you like and you're not really thinking about following a genre or type of sound, but I think subliminally all the inspirations and things, are baked into your brain, and so it kind of comes out through the musical ideas that you come up with. So there's probably elements of quite a few of those bits and pieces coming through in the song.
Ah, cool, man. So what's next then for the band? Then is it you're doing a bit of a tour, aren't you? And you've got another album and stuff coming.
Yeah, so we put out this live. It's called Live in NYC. It's an album. Well, it's an EP, vinyl EP, and digital download that came out today. And then, but what we're doing now is we're making really good progress on a new studio album. So we're kind of three-quarters of the way through that. So all new songs, and a lot of people that are on the first album are on this one as well. We're really excited about it. It's I think a really turned out to be a really great progression from the first album. So that'll come out where don't have a final release date, but that's the plan is to get that out around the time of the next London gigs at the 100 Club, which are March 6th and 7th. So that'll probably be the album launch gig, hopefully.
I'll definitely look out. That's it, really. That's the gist of it. Like,
brilliant.
Just a good little chat.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Is it James or Jay?
James, but everybody calls me Jay.
Yeah, because Jay. Yeah. Well, thanks for having us on. It's brilliant. I really like what you're doing on the page. I think it's great. And